Good morning, friends. Today we will be having our learning and teaching on the topic of plant and environment. As we are studying plant ecology, interrelationship between the organisms and the environment. We are paying attention towards plants interrelationship between the environment. How the environment influences the growth, development, and its life. What are the influencing factors, or which are the essential factors for the survival of life? And what these environmental factors plays role in the plant life? Environmental factors are abiotic components, or we may call it as also abiotic factors. Abiotic factors are light, wind, soil, water, radiations, firing, volcanic activity, and many more. These components influenced the life of the plants. The climatic factors such as light, global radiation, photosynthetically active radiation, and many more. Now, talking on the light, the quality of light, intensity of light, that means strength of the light, and the duration of the light. Visible light. Visible light is a very essential for the process of photosynthesis in the plant. Plants absorb the carbon dioxide from air and water from soil and produce the simple sugar or its food. But it needs the visible light, that is quality of light. Depending on the light, we see the stratification in the ecosystem, that is layers of the plants. Plants which grow well in the lights are also known as heliophytes. The plants which grow well in the shady places or shady conditions, these plants are known as the schizophytes. Now, talking about the light, there are various aspects of the light. I will be showing you some slides which have been taken from the slideshare.com. On these slides or photographs, you may see how this light influence the plants. Extreme low light of the plant, when the light is very low in amount, then the plants are unable to produce their food. On the other thing, when the light is in very extreme, very high density, then also the light shows the effects. Most of the plants measures the dark period and the light period, that we call it as photoperiodism. Focusing on the slide, most of the plant for the flowering, for the production of the flower, measures the long dark night periods. But as we know, on the earth, the climatic condition influence on the position on this hemisphere. Whether they are on Arctic or whether they are on polar region. On this earth, we find the duration of day and the duration of nights differs from this both pole, and ultimately the life and the physiological processes of the plant also seems to be different. Light, the extreme heat or strength light or intensity of the light increases in the summer season in case of tropical region. But in polar, where the atmosphere is very cold, the temperature goes in minus degree, there we see the light is not that much visible or not that much strengthened to perform the activity of the plants. Temperature. Temperature is also one factor which influences the plant's life. As we know, Earth rotates around the Sun, and that influence or that shows differences or atmospheric conditions are different in one zone, and on another zone we find the conditions differently. In desert area, we find the temperature is very high due to the less rainfall. In this desert area, the plants have been adapted to a specific or they have been exhibited a specific character. But still, when the temperature increases in the summer season, the foliage or leaf of the plants turns into the blotch, or the plant is exposed to the sunstroke. This is the example of the desert region, or in tropical also we find the same condition when the temperature ranges, because plants survive or needs very optimum temperature or a specific temperature for its survival, for its growth, and for its rest activity of the plant. But when the temperature level decreases or increases of the optimum one which is required, then the plant seems to be influenced in many ways. While talking about the photoperiodism, most of the plant counts long night days, but in summer seasons followed by winter seasons, during the September month, the daytime is countless, whereas on northern hemisphere, which received 12 hours of sunlight between the March and followed month, means in summer season light intensity or light period, length of light period is counted more. When the plant counts the big or larger night periods, they go for the flower productions. Whereas when they count the day period long, then it seems to be appear vegetation production. We know that in monsoon season, most of the plant or vegetation forms or the leaves are origin, the number of leaves are increases. But in winter followed by summer, the leaves shade or shading of leaves occur in the tropical zone. Now we have seen the adaptation of the temperature. The second one, when we find the mangroves plant or the oceanic plant, these plants, or we may call the particular zone as the waterlogging zone or waterlogging in the field. When waterlog happens, this plant develops the nematophore roots in rhizospora plant. These nematophore roots are straight upwards facing towards the sun, opposite to the gravitational force. This roots has a minute pores on it for the exchange of the gases. Means here the plant can survive. But on the rest of the area or fields, most of the time we see the waterlogging. In this waterlogging, the plants are unable to survive. They are unable to uptake the nutrients and gases, and ultimately plant die. Plant dying process takes place in the waterlogging condition. Next to that, the factor is wind. Wind is also one of the big factor which is influencing the life of the plant, but also help to transport the seeds from one place to another place. When the high storm or high current of winds are passing, when the speed of the spin is increases and the strength of the plant or the mechanical support of the plant become loose, sometimes the winds carry the soil and the mud particle with it. Due to the rainwash or soil off, the soil is removed from around the root system and the holding of the root become poor. That is the reason when the high current of wind passes, the trees are uprooted and sometimes the trees are broken from the top part. This is how it influences the life of the tree, or sometimes it may cause the death of the plant. This is one thing. But on the other hand, this wind also helps in the dispersal of seed from the one place to the another place. High current wind in the forest area in the summer season seems to be leads many times the forest fire. The leaves and the debris are shed by the trees, and this material seems to be fired due to this high intensity of wind. Precipitation. High rainfall in few tropical rainforests have also influenced the life of the some climbers and some trees also. But in polar region where the snowfall occurs, the trees have adapted themselves and the leaves are pointed and very small in the space, which will not hold the snow on their upper surface. This is one of the adaptation in the snowfall region. Hailstorm. These are some of the stone-like particles. This cause a very big damage to the plants as well as the organisms, which causes effects to flora and fauna also. Radiations which are emitted from the suns sometimes seems to be very effective and sometimes seems to be very harmful to the plant's survival. So friends, while studying the plant ecology, we have to go throughout the many factors. While studying this factor, we come to know that of this, the marshy places or oceanic shady places, some snowfall regions had very high intensity of the fungal diversity which cause the diseases to these plants. So this was regarding the climatic factor in the plant and environment relationship. Rest of the part will be seen in our next video. Friends, whatever the slides are shown on this video, the author is Anthony Villa. They have their rights and it is taken from the slideshare.com. Thank you.